Hey guys, VideoJames, and this just came up on my screens, which I found out a little while ago, because I actually did a little bit of research about this a few minutes ago, that Nintendo's making a 2DS XL. And apparently what this is it's a 2DS, so it's not a 3DS, there's no 3D thing, there's no old 3D controls. It's a 2DS now, but it's got the clamshell design instead of the slate design. And that's something I'm really liking, because when it came to the 2DS, it had that clamshell design, or 2DS. When it came to the 3DS, it had the classic clamshell design. You know, the design that we all loved since back when the Game Boy. And back in when the Game Boy was introduced and back when DSs came out, clamshell design's just always been what we like. And that, with the slate design being used for the Game Boy Micro and it being so small, it wasn't really that popular. And then the 2DS coming out with a slate design, while it did look slightly more pleasing, it wasn't exactly what you'd want to see. That after a few times playing it, they actually end up getting crap for your buck. But they're making a new 2DS XL system. I almost said screen, and I'm really looking forward to this because there are a lot of things in this DS which are apparently seeming to be improvements from what's been old in the 3DSs and all that. And I do like the kind of design of the back screen, that we've got the little Nintendo symbol up here, and then we got kind of a sort of a mesh looking kind of material. And I like the blue and black design too. I mean, personally I would have preferred like if there were different ones like red and black or stuff, but I do like this. It is actually pretty good. And then we see we got the circle pad, and we do have extra buttons on the back now actually, that we have new left and right buttons. And we got the circle pad, we got the D-pad, the home button, the start and power button are on the other sides, and then we got the volume control on the side. And I actually did look up a picture for this. I did look it up, and I found out that the speakers are actually down here at the bottom at the little corners. So I don't know if Nintendo's just planning to make little holes there for the speakers to come out, or if they're just making little holes in the actual system for the speakers to just blast the sound through. But either way, I don't really think that was a smart decision, because when you're thinking about a 3DS and you're thinking about holding it, you're going to be holding it like this in your hand, your palm of your hand. It's kind of going to be over that part of the system. So you're probably going to end up being blocking out the sound. So the speakers being there doesn't really seem like a good idea to me. But there is actually a trailer for this, and I'm going to watch it just to pull it up. But with the 2DS coming out just after the Switch, it kind of seems like Nintendo's trying to keep the 3DS family alive. That they're trying to keep their handhelds alive while they make the conversion into a new Switch, or possibly the continuation of the next mobile device. That they might make another 4DS in 2018, and that the 3DS family might even be supported up to 2018. That it might be continuing on for as long as they can try and make it, but Nintendo is actually trying to keep the 3DS family alive. They do actually seem to be listening to what their people are saying, and the trailer isn't working for some reason. But not to worry, because the trailer is also up on YouTube. Or it should be. Oh no, that was a Game Explain trailer. I wanted the other one. Because the Game Explain people made a trailer too, where they had like little pictures pointing to stuff. But let me find the Nintendo 2DS trailer real quick. Nintendo 2DS XL. There we go. Apparently there's already unboxings for this. I don't know how. Alright, here we go. Introducing new 2DS XL. This is the one I saw earlier. Because I saw this immediately after I recorded the video I put up on Friday. Well, that I will have put up on Friday. But there, see, we got the new 3DS, and it actually has the speakers at the bottom, so it is little indents. Oh, that's nice. And then they got like the power button down there, I think is the power button. And they did bring back the XL screens, which are actually, I think in real life they're supposed to be about the size of an iPhone screen. And then we have C-Stick for hands controls. And they actually did put in built-in amiibo functionality, so we'll be able to use our amiibos and all that, and we'll actually be able to keep them alive, I think. And it does have faster processing power, so I think Nintendo's actually responding to some of the stuff on that, because a lot of their games like Smash Bros. And a lot of their other apps that they put on the 3DS, they run almost absolutely terrible. That a lot of games that require internet almost run absolutely terrible. And even if it's not an internet game, sometimes the processing just absolutely sucks. But they are releasing games like Hey Pikmin and Miitopia, and that's actually kind of good. That at the release of the Nintendo 2DS XL, we get stuff like Pikmin for some of the older fans, or we get Miitopia, which is a game that a lot of people have been wanting for a while. And then we got this trailer of a bunch of people playing the 2DSs together. And we got a picture of, I think that's Animal Crossing or Miitopia. And we also got the releases of Fire Emblem and a few more games coming out. So, all around, I think the Nintendo is just... they're trying to keep the 3DS family alive. They're trying to keep the family alive and possibly continue it past 2018 if they decide to make a new system. And $150 actually isn't that bad. It's actually fairly cheap for what you'd think. But yeah, with a new clamshell design, a lot of people are going to prefer that a lot more to the slate design. And again, faster processing power, that's something that the DSs have sorely needed. That even way back to the 3DS XL, the processing power on a DS is nearly abysmal. And hopefully, we can see here we got the hinges and the little microphone and inner camera. Hopefully the hinges actually aren't weak in this one. Like, they aren't extremely brittle. Because, as a history has proven, the hinges for Nintendo 3DSs and DSs and all that, they've been notoriously weak. I actually remember one time my brother dropped his DS and it fell to the ground and it actually broke the hinges to where we had to stick one of them back on and super glue it back together. That we had to put the pieces that it broke off back together. But anyway, yeah, with the 2DS coming out, Nintendo is definitely trying to keep this alive. And apparently, while it is larger than the original 2DS, it's supposed to be like the same size as the 3DS XL. So your 3DS XL cases might work for this, might not, I don't know. Probably not, because we've got new buttons on this, we've got new speakers. But yeah, they're the speakers, and they look kind of like the things we've got on the 3DS now, where we've got those little things at the bottom with that little metal bar. And hopefully they'll do something to kind of put protection over those, because those do end up catching a lot of dirt. I have had to clean a lot of dirt out of those spots on my 3DS. But yeah, with the clamshell design, Nintendo's trying to just revert back to their old comfort zone, that with a clamshell, a lot of people are going to want this more, and that it definitely seems like they're trying to keep the 3DS family as of design and efficiency alive, and that it's faster. So now we've got the faster processing, our games will work better, most of our apps will work better, and with it being lightweight, it'll probably be about the same size as the 3DS, so hopefully it's light enough, hopefully it's not too big. I mean, we don't want it to be like the size of a tablet when it's closed, that's going to be way too huge. And we got the built-in amiibo, again, just so... a lot of people love amiibos. I personally don't really see much use to them, but they're kind of useful. And this was something that... this was my main concern when the 2DS was shown to me, or 2DS XL was shown to me, that I hoped that DS games and 3DS games would be playable on this, and it says that most 3DS, well, all 3DS games, new Nintendo 3DS, and most Nintendo DS games in 2D can be played on this system. So, hopefully, that means that the DS games actually can all be played, because a lot of people do prefer the older DS games. They have stuff like Donkey Kong or something, or stuff like old Mario Kart, or Spyro, or stuff like that, that they really don't want to get rid of. So hopefully, Nintendo will make it to where you can have a lot of the old DS games actually playable on this. I don't think that they're putting the Game Boy Advance stuff in here, but they might. They might make that in a new model. They might, because Nintendo's trying to say, hey, with this part, Nintendo's trying to say, hey, we're trying to keep the old stuff alive, we're trying to bring back old stuff. So, hopefully, in a newer model after this, they might decide to make a Game Boy Advance slot for it, but we don't know. And then we got the Z-Stick, and we got ZL and ZR buttons, so who knows what those will do, but it'll probably be something good. and it's got new 3DS XL down here, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the new 2DS. So, overall, I'm excited for this. I want this to actually be a thing. And there's an orange and white screen, if I can find that on here somewhere. No, but there's an orange and white screen DS, and that's exclusive to Japan. So if you want to get like a Japan exclusive one, it's actually cheaper over there. But you can get the orange and white one, and the orange and white one, honestly, to me, it's kind of ugly. That orange and white, not really a color you want to see. But the black and blue actually does look sleek and at the same time interesting. I had to think of a word for a minute, couldn't. But yeah, I want this to be a thing. I have been hoping for a new handheld system for a while now, because the Switch is a big step for Nintendo, but a lot of people are still going to think, oh, well, Nintendo's a handheld company too. Are they just going to get rid of handheld altogether? Or are they going to move back into only outgoing console games like they did back when they first started with the SNES and the Nintendo 64? But yeah, hopefully this will be good, and the Nintendo 2DS doesn't actually have 3D support, so, well, of course it's a 2DS, but that's actually a good thing, because while the 3DS did have a spike when it introduced 3D, that the 3D actually brought it a lot more attention, 3D's kind of gone down in popularity. That it's actually lost most of its attention, that even with stuff in 3D movies and all that, you don't really see many movies pushing for 3D much anymore. That 3D kind of hit its dying spike a while ago, that it's in its twilight days. But 3D and the 3DS are kind of both in their twilight days, so we might get an entirely new console, or we might get same one, just different design. But either way, 3D's gone down, and a new 2D is coming out. So, I'm going to leave this video here. I'll leave a link to the Nintendo page, so you guys can look at some of the features yourself, and possibly even buy it. I don't know if some of you buy a Japanese 3DS, or, I keep saying 3DS, 2DS for yourselves. I honestly don't think anyone really would, because the yellow on white, again, is pretty ugly. I wouldn't buy it, honestly. I would probably paint over it before I bought it. But anyway, I'm leaving this video here. If you guys liked it, you can slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.